Parents that use nanny cams, what is the most bizarre thing you caught on it? 1. Just me. I went into his room to get him and said, "Daddy's here, don't cry." I went with him back to my room and heard my monitor say, "Here, don't cry." Since my voice sounds so alien to me, I freaked out and watched in horror as a tall man grabbed my baby and walked out. It really probably took 1 second to realize I was holding him and it was me in the video, but I went through 10 years of gray hair in that second. 2. My old roommate has 2 kids of his own. The older kid, who's 3, deactivates the baby monitor cam when he and his sister want to do something they'll get in trouble for. Kid even waves bye to the camera before he pulls the plug. 3. Using a baby monitor to care for aging parent. My sister comes in and tries to convince my dad to cut me out of the will and give everything to her. 4. I was babysitting for this really wealthy family, and I couldn't figure out how to turn the TV on. The little girl was fast asleep and I was so bored. I checked out her enormous playroom, and ended up playing with a doctor kit with their dog. They literally walked into the house on me, with a doctor coat on, weird doctor headband that looks like a headlamp, and taking the dog's heartbeat with the stethoscope. I was like 15 and so bored. They were speechless. 5. My girlfriend's parents have security cameras. I used to pretend to not care much for my girlfriend's cat around other people. Then when they were out of town, we took care of the dog and brought the cat over. They saw me on camera holding the cat over my head and dancing softly in a circle while looking into his cat eyes. The jig was up. 6. Our crib was under a window. Every few days or so a hawk or some other kind of large bird would land on the outside of the window. The bird and my daughter would sit there for a good 10 minutes bobbing their heads at one another. It was adorable, despite the fact the bird probably wanted to eat her. 7. Buddy of mine had a kid at the beginning of last year, discovered that both his cat and his beagle would climb into the crib with the baby occasionally during naps. Both animals made it a habit to climb in, kick and push the baby to the very side of the crib and curl up in the middle completely alone. You'd catch them glaring at the kid if he started to roll back over and invade their space. 8. I have my house surrounded by CCTV cameras. One day, just all of a sudden, in the city of New York, an entire herd of goats just randomly walked into the area where our tiny front yard is. They stood there and nobody came to get them. It was completely bizarre. I looked up any information I could find about parades or anything that would have had goats around. None of the neighbors saw anything. This is a regular street in Flushing with only houses around me. My mailbox was eaten off the fence post. They were around for 20 minutes. I'll never know why they were there.